At EFC 50, Dricus du Plessis entered the hexagon on the verge of making history as he took on Martin van Staden for the vacant EFC welterweight title.
Is in trouble. Van Staden lets it go. Goodness me. And now du Plessis is raining down. He's standing big shots.
This fight's incredible. This might be it, sir. This might be it.
Cranking. Is this it? He's got him trapped. Minute 3 seconds remaining.
And it's over. Dricus du Plessis.
How is that for a picture?
Still knocks. He went all the way through all the contenders. And he took out Martin van Staden.
Dricus is in tears.
Declaring the winner by tap out due to a guillotine, and the new EFC welterweight champion of the world, Dricus still knocks du Plessis.
Du Plessis is one of the most dominant athletes in his division, but there was one athlete the young superstars still had to face. And at EFC 54, that athlete returned to the hexagon after a 2-year layoff.
Fighting out of Dublin, Ireland, Henry Hercules Fadipe.
Gonna have to he does. Flying knee finds the mark. Henry Fadipe now is looking to finish. He calls Mukulu in. No, rocks him. Mukulu's in trouble here.
In terms of this welterweight division, a guy that is at the top of the pile at the moment, Dricus du Plessis. Can you give us your thoughts on him?
Dricus, I hope you keep my belt clean.
Well, best of luck to you. We'd love to see that fight. Your winner, ladies and gentlemen, Henry Fadipe.
It was fantastic to see Fadipe back in the hexagon. And even though the fight itself wasn't the best, the win did set up a chance for him to face Dricus du Plessis and get his hands back on that title.
Henry Fadipe is one of the biggest stars to ever come into EFC. I mean, his entire career has been star-studded. He's always put on massive performances. And when we signed the Dricus du Plessis fight, we were all over the moon that this fight was going to happen. We knew that that would be the penultimate welterweight fight to watch, the division's best facing off against one another.
A welterweight clash of epic proportions, the youthful aggression of du Plessis going up against the raw power of Fadipe. But destiny had other ideas.
We get the call, Henry Fadipe is off. It's the worst thing to hear, but you've got to move on. You've got to try and find replacements. So we looked at Cameron Pritchard. He was the natural contender. He's on a massive win streak. We wanted to see that guy fight for the title at some stage, and this was his opportunity. Unfortunately, the guy had a 14-day suspension. He'd just come off a big fight against Dino Bagatine, and he couldn't take that fight up. So we had to look for somebody else. Then we looked at Mark Hume. He is an absolute beast. But Dricus didn't want to know about that fight. They didn't see him as a natural contender. They didn't see him as somebody that was going to challenge Dricus, so they flat out refused to fight him. They declined that fight. Team CIT and Dricus du Plessis want to be tested. So we looked around and we found an absolute test for them, the baddest guy we possibly could find.
Undefeated in the EFC, Rafael Haratyk is an absolute monster. He came into the EFC with a bang and he just continued that form throughout. All his wins have come in the first round, and he clearly likes to go for the finish as soon as possible.
Rafael came into this organization and absolutely obliterated anybody in his path. And we still haven't seen what he has to offer in the submission game. He is an absolute threat. He's fought massive guys outside of EFC, and he is one of the most insanely talented athletes we have.
It just shows you the wonderful mentality of Dricus du Plessis. This kid wants to constantly fight the best, and against Haratyk, he gets his wish. This will be one of his toughest tests to date.
Will the power and aggression of the young MMA superstar see him stand victorious in the heavier division? Or will the cold, calculated approach of the Polish tank get him the win over his illustrious opponent? It's Dricus du Plessis taking on Rafael Haratyk. welterweight champion Dricus du Plessis is determined to cement his legacy as one of the best of all time. The champ takes on Europe's dangerous middleweight, the Polish tank, Haratyk. The middleweights go to war as the reigning champion Haratyk returns to face the former welterweight champion David Bierski. And the pride of the DRC, Iga Cabeza, puts his featherweight title on the line against the heavy hands of Hanru Bueta. EFC 56, 9 December, Carnival City. Tickets and broadcast information at efcworldwide.com.